Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today I would like to give a speech about change the bad habit. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Janwa Ladibi, also known as Janwa, with student ID 63250839. Before I jump into my speech, think about this. How many times has a 5-minute break turns into 2 hours of mindless scrolling? I know I've done it, and I'm sure many of you have too. This is classic example of a bad habit that holds us back from being productive every single day. We all have habits that we want to change. It might be staying up too late or checking your phone as soon as you wake up. You should not feel like a failure just because you have a bad habit. Habits are just patterns that your brain learns over time. You should remember that you have the power to learn new, better patterns too. Don't try to change everything in just one day. You should not be too hard on yourself if you slip up and do the old habit again. Real change happens slowly through small choice. You should focus on replacing a bad habit with a good one instead of just stopping. You should not let one bad day ruin your whole progress. You should not forget that being patient is part of the progress. It takes time for your mind and body to adjust for a new routine. You should celebrate the days when you make a better choice. No matter how small it seems, remember, your habits do not define who you are. You are the one in control of your future. In conclusion, change is not always easy and is not always simple. But with enough dedication, any habit can be reshaped. So, if you really want it, becoming the best versions of yourself, get up today and start working it. I promise you will get there. Thank you for listening me and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back with me again. And now I want to tell you about used to. With the title is used to exploring the habitual past. My name is Muhammad Janwa Ladibi, student ID 6325089 and from University of Bina Sarana Informatika. In the next slide, what will we learn today? We learned about the first one is the formal definition of used to. The second one is the grammatical structure, positive, negative, and questions. The third one is the difference between past habits and past states. The fourth one is comparison with other past tense, past simple, and verb. The last is common mistakes to avoid. In the next slide is what is used to. Used to is a structure we use to talk about things that happen repeatedly in the past but do not happen now. It describes a discontinued habit. If the action is still happening today, we cannot use this structure. Why? Why do we use this structure? The first one is to emphasize the big difference between our past life and our current life. The second one is to give background information when describing our childhood or history. And the last is to let the listener know immediately that the action has completely stopped. Okay? So this is a affirmative sentence or positive sentence, yeah. Subject plus used to plus verb 1 infinitive. The first example is I used to play basketball every weekend. The subject is I plus used to plus verb 1 infinitive is play basketball every weekend. The second example is she used to work in a bank. The subject is she plus used to plus verb 1 infinitive work in a bank. The third one, we used to travel a lot before the pandemic. The subject is we plus used to plus verb 1 infinitive. Travel a lot before the pandemic. In the next slide, we talk about negative sentence. Subject plus didn't used to plus verb 1. Remember the golden rule. When we use did, the D from use disappears. Example, the first one is, I didn't used to like vegetable as a kid. The subject is I, didn't used to, plus verb 1, like vegetable as a kid. The second one is, he didn't used to exercise, but now he runs every day. The subject is he, plus didn't used to, plus verb 1 is exercise, but now he run every day. Question 4. Structure. Did plus subject plus used to plus verb 1. Remember the rule. Use used to without D because of the auxiliary verb did. The example is, did you used to have long hair? And second example is, what did you used to do for fun when you were young? Okay, now we talk about past habits. Focus, repeated actions or routines. The context is things you did over and over. The example is, he used to walk to school. I used to bite my nails when I was nervous. Next slide, we talk about past states. Focus, facts, situation, or feelings that last a long time. The context is stative verbs be, have, live, love, know. The example, there used to be a cinema in this street. I used to have a dog named Sparky, and she used to be very shy. And now we have used to versus past simple. Past simple, used for single, finish action. The example is, I went to France last year. One time, last year. Past simple. And example of used to for a long term habits or situation. The example of used to is, I used to go to France every summer, many times or routine. So the difference for past simple and used to is past simple just one time, yeah, but used to many times or routine. Okay, common mistakes to avoid. Error 1. I am used to play. Never use am or I am with the habitual past. So the correct is, I used to play, not I am used to play. The second one is, I didn't use to, forgetting to remove the D in negative sentence. The correct answer is, I didn't use to, not used to. Yeah. So the third one or the last common mistake is, I used to go, using it for present habits. For present habit, just use I usually go. So the correct answer is, I usually go, not I used to go. Yeah. So remember the rules and yeah, great. Thank you. and now you know more about using used to. After reading this material, you are now familiar with how to use used to talk about past habits. So that's all from me. Remember, you don't have to be perfect to start, but you have to start to be perfect. Thank you for your time and attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.